Good morning and welcome again to Morning Devotions. Thank you again for our time together. It is a beautiful Monday morning. Please don't have the Monday morning blues. Have the Monday morning excitements. God is with you and God is going to bless all the work of your hand this week. I want us to go back to the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 7 today and listen to the heart of a pastor talking to people that he was the spiritual father of. He says in verse 2, make room in your hearts for us. In other words, somebody had crowded him out of their hearts. He said, could you please make room in your heart? Somebody's pushed us out of your heart, or you've allowed us to be pushed out of your heart. Would you please make room for us in your hearts? We have wronged no one. We have corrupted no one. We have exploited no one. I don't say this to condemn you. I have said before that you would have such a place in our heart that we would live or die with you. Now, you listen to Paul, he said, now listen, I love you with everything in me. I die for you. But he said, what is this? Now, we know that the church in Corinth had a problem with super apostles that came in and they put Paul down and said he was not that much and that he was like this and he was like that. And, Paul didn't take money and instead these super apostles exploited. And, Paul was greatly disrespected by this church. And these other people were greatly respected. And Paul kind of mocks them all through 1st and 2nd Corinthians about it. But the effect of these others coming in was they had no room in their heart for Paul. So Paul makes a request. He said, I know your heart toward me has changed. He said, I know that other people have come into your life and your heart toward me has changed. But he said, would you please make room in your heart for me? I haven't been like these other people. I never did anything to hurt you. I've wronged no one. I've corrupted no one. I've exploited no one. Why has your heart toward me changed? Now, I sit down with church members sometimes, and when you sit down and talk with them, immediately you realize their heart has changed. And you find some other preacher who wants their money, some other preacher who wants what they have has come in and played the sip-sip game and all this kind of stuff and the flattery. And you begin to realize, now, wait a minute. So I've learned to do what Paul did. I say, have I done anything to wrong you? No, Pastor. Have I exploited you in any way? Taken any money from you? No. Have I corrupted you in any way? No. Then would you please make room again for me in your heart? Somebody else has gotten in there. And now there's no room for me, and I'm your pastor. Now I would challenge all of you today. Be careful about the interesting people out there that want to come in and push the spiritual leaders that God has placed in your life. Push them out because they want to take first place in your heart. Be careful. There are those out there, like these people in Corinth. They'll exploit you, they'll hurt you, they'll corrupt you. But the real spiritual leader had done none of that. So he had to beg them, please, make room in your heart for me.